Actually, fucking great sort of damnation. That did nothing. Ooh, I'm so lucky. I love the great sword of damnation. It's so cheesy. I love it. Beautiful. Even though this is the PS4 version. I'm gonna turn off. What the fuck is it? Play offline. Show tutorials off. Uh, in 2 words, the fucking furnace golems. Thought no, not now. I got. I know what I'm gonna do. And how I'm gonna do this. Oh, let's go talk to Floya.
Lady Leda spoke of you. You're that tarnished. Guided here by kindly Miquella. Won't we all? I am Freya. I once fought alongside General Radahn. In battle, you can be sure I'll hold my own. Oh, now did you speak to our dour little friend? If you've yet to do so, have him give you a map of the cross's whereabouts. You'll find more of them dotted about these lands. They are Miquella the Kind's footprints.
Fight. Another. Treading the heels of Miquella. Then, as that woman would surely say, we are in our purposes well aligned. But understand, your kind are not forgiven. The Earth Tree is my people's enemy. By Marika long betrayed, set aflame. I believe Miquella's apologies when he says our delivery will come, but never will I see your kind as worthy.
Wow.
And yet my oath I cannot overlook. If Miquella it is whom you would seek, then comrade, allow me to give you this. These are the sites of the crosses I found. I urge you, follow after Miquella. As long as you abide by his footfalls, you will be no enemy to me.
Oh. Devin Shagash. No, I don't want to get that one just yet. I want to get the other Shadow Tree fragment first. Again, get into Belrab. Get the Spirit Ash. I might as well go get all the gray sides too. And then I'm gonna get the fuck out of Belrab. All the gray sides won't do a Divine Beast Dancing Lion boss fight until much later.
Hello there. Together. Many things. Goodbye. Many things. I like finding things for you, Lady Letter, her allies, and the Forager brood. Things bring joy to all. I like finding things for you, Lady Letter, her allies, and the Forager brood. Things bring joy to all. Goodbye.
You must be the Tarnished. I am Ansbach. Formerly in service to Lord Moog. But now, like you, another soul guided by kindly Mikola. I'm hardly the steady hand I once was. My fighting days are far behind me.
Bitch, no, you
dedicate myself to investigation. To discern tender Mikola's ultimate purpose.
Bitch, no, you and your fucking fighting days are fucking behind you, dumbass.
May 6 crosses identical to this one have been discovered in these lands. They are akin to tender Mikola's footprints, or gravestones, which mark what he's left behind. If you discover any more crosses, be certain to tell me. I presume you too are keen to know just what kind Mikola is doing here. If you discover any more crosses, be certain to tell me. I presume you just what...
Okay. Time to go Belrab. Yeah, family. Alright. Where's that? Nope. I'm so glad that they put a spider in here, a legit spider. It makes me very happy. That I'm very proud, very pleased with. Need some bloodhound step. I have someone bloodhound step. I do. Oh. Oh, now. That was my fault. I love y'all, Corey. Good guy. Huh? Nope. You get mine. What's I am getting the fuck out of here. Yeah, now I can use Melbourne Secrets. Yeah. Okay, the album equivalent of napalm. The fuck? Oh, I'm getting the fuck out of here. Yeah, I better get the fuck out of here. Fit in my bed. Bye, Curse Blood. Bye-bye, bitch. Okay, I'm just gonna fucking jump off this cliff. That was on purpose. Oh my. Oops, I died. Ugh. Ugh. This is literally not the dude that I wanted to, just get this. Well, I got what I needed. That's all that matters. Yeah, I don't want to have to fucking fast travel. Yeah. Shit. Okay. I think I'm gonna get all the southern. Yeah. I'm just gonna download anyways. Well, do this PvE because I'll get all the hefty cracked pots later.
think everyone can play El2den knows it's a game of amazing scale. The open world in both space game and the DLC is absolutely massive. There are a ton of bosses and epic things to discover, and the same thing can of course also be applied to the lore. There are a lot of themes the game focuses on, a lot of characters to cover, and one particularly very interesting group of these are the El2den. There is the rod god associated with Maria, or the promised mother associated with love and hope, and of course for this video's purpose, there is the El2den.
So funny when Rod is literally an abysmal deity.
Talking a lot about the Frenzy Flame very shortly, and the Frenzy Flame was also one of my personal favorite of the gods. It was super interesting and even had its own ending, so I really didn't expect to get more on the Frenzy Flame in the DLC. However, I was very pleasantly surprised with the introduction of Midra and the entire path towards them. It very neatly expands the lore on the Frenzy Flame, and it's just fantastic stuff. In this video, I will be talking about why I think Midra is absolutely amazing and everything that has to do with him in the Frenzy Flame.
I love Nidra, so
If
yeah.
you like this kind of content, please be sure to like and subscribe.
I completely get it.
It supports the channel massively, and I really appreciate you people watching this. But now with everything out of the way, let's get into the video. I want to start with talking about very important to the lore of Midra, and of course, it's the Frenzy Flame itself. This is a depiction of chaos in the story of Elden Ring. Chaos, of course, being relatively often used in stories. However, I think Elden Ring's depiction of chaos is very creative and very unique. Instead of being basically uncontrollable, pure chaos with no order, it's quite the opposite. It's a technical and calculating chaos, scheming in the dark, trying to take over. It even has its own very cool. Instead of rejecting order and embracing pure chaos, the Frenzy Flame helps to burn everything down. It's basically a hard reset of the universe. It's a very depiction, and that's what makes it super memorable for me. Like the older gods, it also spreads at a very alarming rate and consumes everything, animals and people alike. It's super dangerous and definitely a force to be reckoned with. As you can see in the Lord of the Frenzy Flame, I think. You basically become this very cool looking Lord of the Frenzy Flame, very memorable, feels badass, but if you think about it, it's pretty messed up being to burn everything down. As Melina
Sounds fun.
There's also the playful addition that should you betray Melina and go for the Frenzy Flame, she will basically be at the end of the game, and of course there are theories that she is the reawakened Glow White Queen, which of course is very cool. All in all, the lore on the Frenzy in Elden Ring is super great, super memorable, and one of my favorite aspects of the lore, even pre-DLC. That's why I was very happy to get more of it. As amazing as the Midra boss fight is, I don't think we would regard it as fondly if it wasn't tied to one of the coolest journeys and discoveries in the entire series. Your way to Midra starts in the Shadow Keep, where you need to find a pretty secluded area, lie down in a coffin, and get transported to Lower Altus. In Lower Shadow Altus, you have to look for the Dark Light Catacombs, which, in my opinion, are some of the coolest catacombs in not only the DLC but the entire game. They are very memorable and have some very cool things to discover, like the Giant Inn. And at the end of the dungeon, there is even a unique boss. Now, I already hinted this in my top 20 bosses of the series, but I really think Yori is a great boss. I actually see the vision, and I think
Jory is so annoying.
Pretty this spawn, the fact that you 3 attacks until they vanish, it's pretty bad.
It's just a shitty fool's idol.
And the motivation, it's just annoying. It forces you to run off. Not a fan of this boss fight.
The fool's idol did it better. The fuck.
It's not one of my favorites.
The music for it's okay.
Looks one of the coolest things in the Star DLC. The episode was.
My favorite area, the Abyss, Indeed, in the Realm of Shadow.
Scared of the Frenzy Flame, which was hinted at in the Frenzy Flame ending, and an area touched by madness. The rats and the animals here have frenzy in their eyes, and there are even encryptors with this. The scariest thing in this entire area are these winter lanterns. Oh my god. If these
The aging untouchables. I love them so much, they're so cool.
They are super dangerous, and
I love the look of them too.
It's a very cool stealth section, but also, as I said, fight them head on if you carry them. They are very cool and very memorable enemies. is quite large and there is not very much to it, but the atmosphere alone is very awesome for everyone, and there are a few things to discover. After you walk through the very terrifying forest, discover the Drill's names. Already before entering, you see some decapitated corpses before the man's basically something that tells you to stay away. If you still decide to proceed into the mansion, you already hear a warning. Do not enter. If you still decide to push on, you will arrive at points in the net where you will hear Midra screaming, but if you still decide to push on, you will arrive before Midra, and then you have to face it. I think this entire journey is super amazing. It's crazy to think about it. If you miss this very secluded area in the Shadow Keep, you basically entire optional path, which is just crazy to think about. I really love that From Software is ready to hide such a large amount of content in such obscure places. Always amazing to discover what the journey to Midra was very special to me, and I'm very sure we will capture some of that Dark Souls 1 magic. It was very unexpected to find so much behind just simple catacombs, but it was very much appreciated.
Yeah, and then this like Midra has one of the best of the Realm of Shadow OSTs, like at all.
And I was very glad
it is probably the best. That, the Divine Beast Dancing Lion, Bale are like the top 3 for OST.
There's some narrative think Midra is too simple and basically like a Dark Souls 3 boss in Elden Ring.
Okay, and is that a bad thing? Or what the fuck? Why are you complaining? The fuck?
After that, he's pretty simple to read or particular ones. However, I think what Midra does amazing make use of the wonderful player expression in Elden Ring. There are so many things in the boss fight you can jump over, as you will see the footage from this entire Midra segment, and of course there's this amazing way to avoid this floaty spin by Midra where you crouch under it. It's so cool and very rewarding. People strafes as well, and basically min-max this fight. I think I'm fine with Midra being on the simpler side, because not every boss needs to be Malenia, but I just wish his posture was a bit higher. Yeah, it makes sense.
The fact that he has more health than...
Besides that, he has some demanding...
He has more health
watch out for his frenzy. It's a great fight.
than Thomas Consort Radon.
Presentation side. I think especially this is amazing. You have one of the best build-ups in the series with the journey I already explored in the previous chapter. You have very tragic character, Midra, feeling an excruciating pain, which is probably the second most painful thing.
To embrace pain is to embody excellence.
Character. Just imagine this guy being tortured like this for centuries. It's very messed up, and
the black marble sentinel.
Yeah, I'm terrified of the frenzy flame, but holy shit, this guy was really starting to an insane degree. And there's of course Aya as well, who was probably his power or wife. We don't really know much about her, and events to the mystery. It's very interesting. Now, when Anaya told Midra to endure for the sake of the world, to not burn it down with the frenzy,
no, she was like, she's like, come on, let's get it. Burn it.
He is fighting it relentlessly for a very long time, but when he entered the chamber, despite all his warnings, and beats the old man up...
I don't have one of the shackles.
He finally removes the plate that seals
whatever.
And embraces the nature of madness. And then a wonderful fight unfolds with a beautiful arena, in my opinion very underrated, because it starts out as a basic room, but when he goes insane and basically everything is wonderful. And I need to mention this, you probably heard it a lot, but soundtrack is one of the best I've ever heard in the game. It's absolute madness, in contrast to how Midra fights. Midra fights very calm. And this once again brings me back to the depiction of chaos in Elden Ring. Remember, the chaos in Elden Ring is not a frantic and crazy frenzy, but more of a calculating tactician. And this is depicted in the way Midra fights as well. It's very cool, and I'm so glad they did this. inconsistency. Overall, I absolutely adore this boss fight, and it just gets better from you. I expect to like this boss less over time because of its simple nature, but it's quite the opposite.
No, it's timeless. Midra is timeless. He's gonna he Bale him Bale Radon, I don't know if it will. Yeah, I don't think the DLC Radon fight is gonna have the same staying power as like Midra or Bale or even the fucking Death Knights.
I don't understand people who say they are disappointed with the DLC and especially the areas being empty. Because if From Software just filled everything up with humans like they did in the base game, people complain about using assets, so you really can't please everyone. But regardless, I'm not here to complain. I also have a few minor nitpicks with the DLC, like the lack of the Glowmite Queen, a character which in my opinion definitely needed a
The
bit more.
Glowmite Queen should have been a boss.
Yeah, I don't know.
The Glowmite Queen should have been a full-blown boss.
Pretty sure we will get something, but then it didn't happen. But it's fine. We got a lot of other different things, and I'm glad. I think Shadow of Tier 3 is still the best experience in gaming I ever had. Tell me if me and the CPU on the Cassie of the mid-dropping. I just think it's a very cool experience, and I think most people loved it, which I'm very happy. With that said, thank you once again for watching the video. My next video will most likely be the ranking of my favorite Wukong bosses, so I hope you will be there for that. And with that, have a nice day, and bye!
Yeah, I don't think Radon in the near Liam, I don't think that's gonna have the same staying power. Everything else is fine. Although we should have got more. Like 2.5 years of work. If we're being more honest, it was more likely 4 years. Like the fuck? Now, I'm just personally gonna sprint through everything and get the fuck to the boss, so I can go get those fucking Shadow Tree fragments down south. Shit, I don't know why we didn't get, like, Bale's Wings as a remembrance spell. Like, Bale's Wings of Fury. And then the other thing would have been, like a transfiguration, a draconic transfiguration. The fuck were they thinking? Time for Great Sword of Damnation. And time to smoke. Oh, shit. Did a lot of damage. Oh, oops.
Hey guys, welcome back. This is last. We're going to talk about CNN posting some of its lowest ratings in years.
Find us at the Ewok that passed on.
Oof.
Podcasts out there. We're doing more over there. We also have merchandise. And if you don't want to over there, now you can get merchandise discount if you go to the website. Just find some there, but anybody can buy them. You get a little bit cheaper if you use the site. But we're happy to locals who would like to do more Rumble. We just got to see if we can make the numbers work. So numbers that aren't working are CNN's
And MSNBC, yeah.
and MSNBC. So this is kind of shocking. Like I thought it was just a short run. Like okay, well they took a dip for an air too because people got sick of hearing about an election. No, this is like historic lows. CNN posts lowest rated Tuesday in critical den on 24 years. CNN posted worst Tuesday performance among key demographics.
Well, they did it to themselves.
That headline, guns got engaged, led to the loss.
Essentially an album.
Guns got engaged.
So Fox News, which is actually picking up quite a few viewers. It's so weird. Like we talked about this election night, you can see the difference in tone on CNN and MSNBC compared to Fox News. Fox News is like a freaking party.
Yeah, but I will say that they were not as quick to politics.
Yeah.
So they didn't want to reach people have a laugh.
Well, they knew it was going to happen, right? They're like, okay, well, we're just going to go to their party and let them figure out. Long struggling CNN has its smallest media audience in 24 years, including among the demographics coveted by advertisers as important.
25 to 54.
Yeah, CNN averaged only 61,000 viewers, 55 to 64 on November 11th. All audience on a Tuesday, 2,000.
Dang.
White House.
Oh my god.
CNN also has viewers, and that's fascinating, right? Yeah,
They were a lot bigger back then.
they were, yeah.
As far as being like a linear network.
Well, I'll tell you what happened with CNN. Basically, CNN and MSNBC, when Trump got elected, they all in on the anti-Trump rhetoric, and they rode that train. And after he was gone, it was about fashion, the right wingers that were trying to, skirt the pandemic rules, all that crap, and then there was the next election. And then they kept telling people things were fine, right? They were all like, because I was reading what's up on YouTube, and like, don't think we get this going to do it. I don't think this is right. They're like, oh yes, it's going to quickly destroy him. That's going to be no concept. Nobody wants to hunt again. According to our exit poll, full of these
Yeah, sure thing. Dumbass mainstream media.
It's that they had the worst turnout during daytime programming in a decade on Tuesday, as the struggling network managed nearly 60,000 average viewers from 9 to 5. People are watching that. Well, they're also trying to work in that age. But they, whatever. Yeah. But I think what's going on, and this is why the AFC is flipping out, is that they realize that the news people straight up yes. That's definitely counted. Since CNN failed to gain viewers despite President Mike Donald Trump's victory over Vice President Kamala Harris, has barely slowed up since Trump made history by becoming just the second president ever to win 9 consecutive terms. With Harris' succession, breaking stories out of Catholic, yeah, they're just not watching. They're just non-stop flow of breaking news hasn't helped CNN. Election day CNN averaging 403,000 paid viewers compared to 2.2 million.
I can't wait till they're fucking down and then like actually get either sold off or collapses. Fuck those hoes. This is some hoes.
Yeah, it's not good. And I'm telling you, what's going on is people are like, we were blindsided, you were lying.
Yeah.
You feel like they've been lied.
And you know, maybe people are actually, maybe they're acting right.
I mean, honestly,
A lot of speculation. This is something you would expect to do along the line. No, but you kill all the water we can get to the both of our husbands.
whatever, sure kids.
No, they're what is like widespread panic. Then there's some guy on Reddit I saw today, he was complaining his wife left him. His polyamorous subreddit.
Okay.
His wife left him for another man, so that like
For real?
yeah.
They're not sure.
I cannot, you know, I would have thought that these posts on Reddit were all fake. Then see that post was in the academy of recycling. My God, actually.
No.
Yeah, so yeah, MSNBC is very well there. The hospital watching the hope that Frank Madison will put the hell out. I don't see a future for networks like this going forward. I don't see a need for multiple, right after night. And if the country's sentiment isn't that being iconic as it was in 2016, how are you going to have to take it back? You have to go back to this people. And I think it pivoted so hard away from just reporting the news that that's the point, right? I mean, people just watch CNN in the background and like elevator music, right? It was like, oh, hey, baby Jessica, well, no, it's like, that's stupid. Like, nobody cares about that. They're not going to listen to their news themselves.
I mean, it was maybe not the time to talk last time, because they were like saying, oh, they won, and then they had to walk it back a little. But it was such a shock to so many. And people talking learning, and you have something to learn. And most of them are learning, and their dollars are going down, and they're preaching this bullshit. And so we're just like, nope, I'm not listening to you anymore. Yeah. Like, no. And it's easy. We're going to go walking away because they're all be upset.
Yeah, I think that's part of it, but I feel
it's like as usual.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not noticing any difference when you go out in public. Like, they don't seem like they're important to you. So, you know, yeah, I think the advertising moving, actually, because eventually, if money runs out, the should be up there. And see,
Well, if you keep dropping it, right?
CNN's been trouble for a while. Been trouble for a while.
Like you think there was some money here.
Yeah, well, CNN, you missed that video, but they said they're going to be laying off hundreds of staffers, and they're going to expect their on-air talent to do more of the heavy lifting. Basically, they're going to have to do like YouTubers and podcasters where they do a lot of really shit, and I don't know if they can.
I think I was on that one, but yeah.
I don't think they'll be able to do that. They're done.
So, you know.
The mainstream media is just toast.
At least for now. And I don't know what the future looks like. I don't think anybody knows what the future looks like, but people are rejecting them. We got to wrap this up.
Yeah.
Mainstream media is done. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it.
Get exclusive access to podcasts and videos and comic strips and more, as well as
This slow burn death. They're gone. Yeah, I'm not doing this now. I get all the shadow tree fragments. Shit. Yeah, not happening.
Hey guys, welcome back to Final Fish CD. This is Neon. I am here with E.T. Sparkle, and we're going to talk about Blue Sky, which is kind of like I think Canada. All these celebrities are Blue Sky, and I don't know how long these things last. They were all kind of raging against Elon Musk buying Twitter a couple of years ago, but they still stayed. In fact, some of them not only stayed, but they actually started charging subscriptions, like. You know, it's like you don't hate them. Yeah, you don't hate them that much, do you? But a lot of them saying they're going to get Blue Sky. Now, here's the thing: Blue Sky is becoming 2017 Twitter in a bottle, and we've got more problems over on Blue Sky than Twitter ever. Now, Blue Sky saved people, saying, and within a day, they have a bunch of people doing it. In the past 24 hours, we have received 1,000 reports, an all-time high for one day. We're receiving about 3,000 reports per hour. Put that into context, in all of 2023, we received 360,000 reports. That's a large tier, because ESOM, which is two stuff. So basically, everybody that was in the app on Twitter, know the Blue Sky, and they're all working.
No, they so like they're over there, and I'm offended. Now a lot of that is CSA and stuff, but there's a lot of people just like I'm over here, but now I don't have any my Yahtzee to get mad about. But you're here, I don't like this. So that's a microaggression, like And like,
Yeah,
yeah,
they make it very easy to flag content. And I mean, I'm going to talk about some of this because you talk about podcasts. You can link to that to clownfishminus.com or clownfishtv.locals.com. Those podcast episodes out there you will not get on YouTube. I did one the other day talking about blue sky numbers. And it basically is, one big safe space, one big hug box, but it was so bad that Jack Dorsey, who started Twitter, actually one of the guys who started Sky and left in May of this year and told everybody to use X instead. Okay, so that's not really no, it's cool. You want that? That sounds great to you. Fantastic. No, you're not going to go
it's funny because I was thinking about it, and he said, from my understanding, basically like what Tumblr was right before it became Tumblr, and now it's like all that, it's just like 8 years ago, 6 years ago, whatever, all of that is blue.
He doesn't understand, like, there actually was kind of a golden era of Twitter, but I would say it was like 2008, like 2013, and that started to get all those refugees from Tumblr and LiveJournal started.
People just sharing art, it was like more really positive, podcast videos, whatever.
Not a lot of fights, I mean, everyone knows how people get into it.
For where they are now, like, basically, I think what it is a bunch of younger people who never grew up in reality, like, what it was for like 20 years, deciding that everything is trigger and that it's all about them. And I think that's what a lot of it is. Because the majority of people who, have grown up and been around a while, they know that there's like a time where you can have things and it's fine. You didn't have to hate somebody to really differently. And not everything was a trigger and everything was microaggression. People got along fine. This whole narrative that, thank God there's a bit of diversity of doing it with this little kid. People like that, they never know. They've been around this before. And then we have these youngsters coming and telling everybody else that they're just fixed, that's their conception of reality. And other places, they're just getting that to look out,
Yeah, so let's talk about this a little bit more in stop studying. Check out clownfishminus.com where we have our minus club, whatever.
It's all that we think was thinking.
God,
That's all the same.
like I'm gonna buy a geeky sparkle blue doll. It's like, what exactly is that? But they're possible too.
Yeah, that's what I'm about.
But yeah, the word. I don't know. That could go to places I don't need to go. I don't want to. But that's clownfishtv.locals.com. During the same time that we're there, we've actually had people ask about us in the locals. We're going to be going more formal, hopefully. Try not to put all of our eggs in one basket. Things are really cheap. This is funny. This is Elizabeth Blue Sky, which I'm assuming is TikTok. I don't know. Blue Sky drowning under the weight of the leftists, reporting everything, 1,000 reports per hour. We got a lot of comments here. Blue Sky's just going to get comedy through a wreck. Yeah, probably. What happens when your audience has a tendency to be authoritarian? Person says I have an account with Chamber. They put me on a block list because I had agate in my bio. And I'm constantly being attacked just for posting Trump won. You're not allowed to speak.
No, you're not allowed to. You cannot say what's real. You have to take the narrative. It's an echo chamber of bullshit, and they're going to be like, you don't understand how it's so far removed with everybody else. I'm like, because of this stuff.
So remember back in 2020, if you said, or 2021, hey, I had some side effects from a certain vaccine on Twitter before Musk got it. It's like that. It's like you were not allowed to say that without 50,000 rando accounts dogpiling you and telling you you're spreading misinformation. And then finding out that your account's been kind of boosted or shadowed and your stuff because God forbid you have a dissenting opinion, right? David Dean says it's like high school full of poll monitors. Same thing happened in Mastodon. X complained about censorship and they returned to X. So, wow, it really is a tough choice, isn't it? Because you've got X, which I never thought would basically become 4chan. And that's kind of where we're at, but it's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun though. It's actually I'm actually happy that Elon Musk bought Twitter. I was going to leave. I mean, yeah, there's some people that are maybe posting some shit that I wouldn't post, but whatever. It feels kind of like it was in 2008, 2010. You know, except with more politics.
This is funny.
Which one here?
This one, they got banned for questioning the election.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so apparently they're taking some stances on the other side, too.
Nobody seems to see my post stating that police got permanently banned me for saying the election was rigged.
Election denial.
Election denial. Don't be so weird inside their heads. A lot of people are broken. I saw a tweet the other day, and she's a doctor or a PhD or something. She was going on about how so many women now are basically preparing for the apocalypse.
Yes, I saw
And
that.
they're transferring money into their own accounts. They're buying a bunch of bottled water, and they're getting ready to file for divorce because
This blows my mind.
Handmaid's Tale.
This is what blows my mind. First of all, Handmaid's Tale is fiction. It's not real. Just because your husband voted, doesn't mean that you have to. It didn't vote what you did, or you don't even know how they voted, honestly. That you have to divorce them because they told you to. I mean, you know your husband better than they do. You've been married to this person. You made the choice to marry this person. You've been married to them for a while. I would assume that you know whether or not they're a good or bad person. You don't need the fucking idiots on, Blue Sky to tell you what you should feel and think about your relatives. But if you're that stupid and if you're that brainless and you're dumb enough to shave your head and get divorced because and stockpile water because you're so dumbass that you think that that somehow your rights have been changed when they haven't been, well then I guess you have to win for the person you're divorcing because you're just a piece of shit.
It's I can't. I mean, look, you want to know what Twitter would have been in 2024 on Musk and buy it? Just look at that.
I like to know they're taking that video from that one. I think it was like a Democrat news or something.
The communist. Yeah,
that's about they found the same thing.
Yeah, that was.
I saw it and I laughed so hard. Look, I remember that video.
Let's look at that because that's coming up.
That's a fucking challenge. I figured. And you didn't tell the whole video, but the rest of the video, you can interrupt and say,
yeah,
you need to stop talking. You need to stop.
Hey, that's why I have to look. That's so yeah, this video, this is like the socialist or Marxist convention in 2022. It was making rounds a couple years ago, and now that this guy is the thing, it's possibly under the weight of all the narking, people bring this up and saying this is basically what's going on.
This is what you get for having cancel culture be your main thing.
Very, very pro sensory overload.
What's his way with her hand?
Personal privilege. We do not use gendered language to address everyone. Privilege once again. The point of privilege once again. I did not feel the I've already mindful of the chatter of their comrades, more sensitive sensory overload, and that goes double for the heckling and the hissing. It is also triggered through my anxiety. Like, nothing more like, it's triggered my anxiety. You know, I feel anxiety issues in the world a lot. And you know how many people that you don't want anxiety issues. You give two shit about their anxiety issues? No. And it's like, just because you're triggered, you're fine with your own damn triggers. Not everybody else. I'm sorry, you are. And you want to let anxiety issues. This is where I get so pissed off at computers because they try to control them. You get pissed off at us because they're used to, you talk about comic books and
you know what? People come from the world.
These people are into that sort of thing, right? And they get mad at us because we don't support them. Basically, because they tell us to. So,
yeah.
So we're the literal devil because, we sit back.
So literally, no one will have any discussion whatsoever, not whisper up talking.
I mean, that's what devil does. Tells the truth whether you like it or not.
Yeah. People don't see their houses very often. We'll watch a little bit more and then we'll wrap it.
It's so that people aren't going to get triggered and
so that it doesn't affect their performance as a delegate, okay? Your need to express yourself is important, but your need to express yourself should not trump or over. Like, I see that no one's clapping for me. It could be because I'm not engaging, but it also is because everyone's doing this. And that's really important because those loud bursts of noise, even though this is a noisy space, we can do something like reducing that. That's really important.
They do that though. That's they use it in schools. A lot of elementary schools. Because you have kids that are, sensory or autism, and then they do that instead of clapping to try to make it quieter for the kids that might be overstimulated. We're talking about children.
That's one
I guess it's the same thing.
Well, that's the thing. I was gonna say, like, I noticed about a lot of these people, and they act this way on social media too, is they try to talk to adults like they're children. Like, okay, everybody. Then we've got people that are in their 30s that are pissed off that some YouTubers don't like their fucking cartoon show because of all the fucking or implied fucking, and they get all triggered because they're used to being in these safe spaces.
I think they gestures too without sound. You can't see them, but they're up.
Jazz
hands. Like one middle finger, I mean.
Jazz hands. Do your jazz hands.
That's what they can do without that.
And a lot of those are invisible disabilities. You don't know who it is that is having a more difficult time navigating this space, and this space was not created with all of their needs in mind. So it's up to
What the fuck?
Here's another thing as a teacher. IEP stuff now. Okay, look, individual education plans for kids because a lot of kids have different needs. You're trying to meet all these needs, but there's no way in hell you can meet all the needs. There's just no way. And be able to maintain a classroom full of kids. So what happens is the kids that don't have those needs, they get kind of shafted for all the ones that do. You have to meet all these needs, and if you don't meet all the needs, the parents come and start screaming because little Timmy didn't get every IEP met, even though there's no fucking possible way that every IEP is met for Timmy and meet all the IEPs for everybody else, or even the minimum for everybody else. Because it's all about their special snowflakes. And in some cases where people legitimately have issues that they need help with. But a lot of people are just, I decided I'm this.
Yeah.
And my trigger is, you tell me no.
That's how it happened. That was definitely a cultural thing, and that's what I think into the culture is a bunch of people who wanted to be special. It wasn't enough just to be, it wasn't enough to be like, okay, well, I've got special situations. Like, oh, no, we all have to have special situations.
Well, that's like, it's like, okay, it was enough to be LGBTQ, but now you have to be, or like, you can be lesbian or gay, but that's not enough now. No. Now you have to have extra steps. I have to be trans, I have to have extra steps. And then I have more privilege points than you. And it's like, well, I'm that, but I'm also autistic, and I said so. I'm also, I have ADHD, and I have other crap. And it's like you keep adding on to the things, and sometimes it's true, sometimes it's not. And they just keep saying it to try to make themselves more and more and more special. And you're supposed to think, you basically end up being a percentage point, like a fraction of percentage point of people they're supposed to be catered to by everyone because they add somebody checkboxes. And it's absolute bullshit. This is stupid. I'm not saying you don't need people's needs by all means. You can too, but understand too that there are a lot of other people in the world besides you.
Yeah, I mean, it's just ridiculous. I mean, you cannot not accommodate everyone. Fortify that space to make sure that everybody's able to move in the ways that they need to move. And additionally, with the noise issue, like avoid kissing, avoid waving banners, right? There's all sorts of things. Fill up these, right? So there's lots of ways to for each other without needing to rely on.
I couldn't say that word.
To hurt somebody else. They have quiet rooms that are available. There's a range of options to these, right?
Then leave. Wait. Quiet rooms available. Then leave. It's too much. Leave a damn room and go to a quiet room. Why are you up there telling everybody else they have to do? Now, we just thought watch this. This is my trigger. Stupidity.
So here's the thing. It's Blue Sky. Yeah, if you're
never gonna live that picture.
They've had an interview with her. I think her name is.
She normal now?
I don't know. She said it wasn't supposed to happen the way that it happened, and she was kind of playing it up. She says, but
well, then you better get mine.
Yeah. I won't even comment on this. But
you better get mine.
Yeah. I won't even comment on this image. But evening, welcome. I'm Ezekiel, and in tonight's episode, we wrap up our tour of Machida's paranormal hotspot.
It would be Azazel, but okay.
And then we'll continue to dive into the haunted Green Ridge Road. Also,
I should know this because he's my literal brother.
Finally, to a nearby military base where U.S. service members and their families have for decades told tales of frightening and inexplicable encounters with ghostly soldiers from the past. Today, on Ghostly Japan.
Yeah, I'm getting the fuck out of here. I ain't dealing with this shit. Not yet.
Haunted tunnels are a staple of ghost stories the world over. Japan is no exception. There are many famous haunted tunnels with truly disturbing history, such as the Komiya Tunnel, the Inuyaki Tunnel, and Kiribati Tunnel, just a few. There are also many other less-known haunted tunnels. Sometimes, nearly every town in Japan has a haunted tunnel of its own.
Well, that makes sense, because death is everywhere on this planet.
No haunted tunnel is the Ayabehara Tunnel, situated on the Kamakura Highway, also known as Route Number 18. The tunnel connects Kama City to the north with Machida. Opened on March 26, 2005, it's a relatively new tunnel, but it wasn't long before stories began to emerge. Something was off about the tunnel. The earliest claimed paranormal activity started the same summer the tunnel opened. Stories began circulating online. There was a stain or discoloration in the shape of a person on the road in the tunnel itself. But the lead of the story, no matter how much the road crew tried to clean the stain from the roadway, stubborn and quite stain persisted. Some of the tales speculated that the stain was linked to the spirit of a driver who crashed and died in the tunnel shortly after it opened. There are also a number of reported accidents, both inside the tunnel.
When death essence becomes physical. Cool.
Some infer that the high number of accidents are due to some paranormal influence. One thing all versions of the story agree on is that the stain persists to this day. I was unable to corroborate the claims of a visible human stain on the roadway, nor was I able to find any pictures. Perhaps criticism, one of the versions of the story claimed that the stain is actually not visible from the tunnel itself, but can only be seen when looking into the mouth of the tunnel while standing on one of the local surface streets that run parallel to the tunnel, although they neglect to provide any further guidance than that. As for the allegations of accidents in and around the tunnel, that there is some evidence for. It seems there have been a few accidents within the tunnel, but most of the incidents are towards the entrance and exit and leading up to the intersection. Avoid any mention of paranormal. Detailed serious accident the writer was involved in as the author suffered only minor injuries, but witnessed another car that was completely destroyed. The fate of the driver of the other vehicle was unknown. The writer blamed the other drivers quickly speed or obscuring that traffic stop at the intersection ahead. While Ayabehara may not be as popular or impressive as some of the more famous haunted tunnels, it's still a locally well-known spot that much else in paranormal. And regardless of whether the accidents have a more mundane explanation or are indeed paranormal, it might be wise to drive carefully should you ever find yourself driving down the Kamakura Highway. Restriction from the Machida Bioenergy Center in the east to route to 16 in the neighborhood of Genizutsu and Tachiyoji is on the scenic route runs along the ridge of the Tama Hills and passes through the Sagamino Plateau. This route runs along the road on either side before turning into a foot-only path in the center as the route passes through Uyamadaibi Park. It is a popular spot in the spring for cherry blossom viewing as there are 18 different varieties of cherry trees featured on the route. Walking down the well-maintained pathway shaded by the sakura trees, it may be hard to imagine that this route is one of Machida's most haunted spots. But that is exactly the case, as numerous individuals have claimed to have experienced horrifying paranormal encounters.
stories run the gamut of paranormal experiences. Some claim to have encountered full-on apparitions of World War II era Japanese soldiers walking down the pathway. Others claim that ghostly hands reach out of the ground trying to grab people's ankles, while some accounts claim to have heard a lone male voice call out from behind, but when they turn around, find no one there. Some testimonies, people will suddenly fall ill while walking down the pathway. These hauntings are tied to Ondokudo's past history, a time when it was known by a different name, a name that some of the older residents still call it by, El2den, Tank Road. In 1943, the land was acquired by the Japanese government for use by the Imperial Japanese Army as both a test site and training ground for Japanese tanks that were being developed and manufactured at the nearby Sagami Army Arsenal. The original plan called for an extensive proving ground of 30 kilometers, but only about 8 kilometers were completed before the end of the war. According to the numerous ghost stories concerning Ondokudo, ghostly Japanese soldiers that stalked the path that many are said to have taken their lives during exercises on Tank Road due to physical and psychological abuse they endured from their superiors. We're talking about the Japanese military from World War II. A lot of attention is given to the kamikaze pilots and the fanatical resistance the troops put up, many choosing to die in their fighting positions rather than surrender. The Japanese military encouraged and glorified this type of suicidal behavior amongst its forces. Less known is that the Japanese army had a serious problem with suicide, though, among its ranks. These were, for lack of a better term, ordinary suicides, initiated by the individual on their own, often outside of the immediate combat environment, or even on the home front. In 1937, Japan dramatically escalated the situation in China with the Marco Polo incident, which began the Second Sino-Japanese War. By 1938, military authorities began to become concerned by what they described as a deplorable rise in unauthorized suicide among Japanese troops both deployed and those in a training environment within the home island. A report was issued in 1938 by the El2den, the military police, in which they stated that the Imperial Japanese Army now had the highest suicide rate in the entire world. Authors of this paper strongly urged senior military leadership to take steps to address the problem. This was an issue that was so culturally sensitive that the authors of the report chose to remain anonymous. The issue was sensitive because it stood in stark contrast to the efforts of Japanese policymakers who had spent much of the past decade trying to cultivate a national identity based on a belief of ethnic supremacy within Japanese society. He pointed out that the Imperial Japanese Army was first created in the 1950s by the Meiji government, modeled itself to emulate Western armies of the time. Even though most of the first generation of officers were former samurai, one of the earliest purposes of the Imperial Army was to protect the establishment from threats posed by this group of former samurai. Given Japan's long history of sword making, it didn't surprise them to learn that the new Imperial Army issued to their troops not the traditional Japanese katana, but in fact swords modeled on European and American swords of the era. While Bushido was still present in Japanese military culture at this point, as evidence has been removed in 1912 after the passing of Emperor Meiji, in line with the old Bushido concept of troops take their life after the master dies. The actions to General Moshi's action at the time were mixed. There were some who glorified the general's action as the ideal of a Japanese warrior, while others felt it was an outdated concept with no place in a modern society. These reactions mirrored Bushido's place in the new military, and gave the argument for what exactly Bushido would be in modern parlance. It wouldn't be until the late 1920s and the early 1930s that with rising militarism taking hold in Japan, that a concerted effort was made to connect the image of the samurai and an ultra-nationalist interpretation of Bushido to the military. In 1934, the Qing Buddha issued to replace the Western-style swords Japanese adopted its clothing. This new sword was styled to emulate the traditional Japanese swords in a Kamakura period, a visual representation of the changing culture that was taking place. Indoctrinated, the message wasn't the heirs of the ways of the samurai. They were to conduct themselves according to the code of Bushido. There was to be no surrender. Death was not to be feared, or an easily embraced. Their lives were to be for the country and the emperor. At the heart of this was the Yamato dynasty, the Japanese soul. Endowed with a singular unity, the soul of the Japanese warrior was to allow him to overcome whatever obstacles he encountered. That is why the 1938 Italy report was so problematic for the Japanese army. How could the soldiers of the Imperial Army, with their superior Japanese spirit, also have a mental health crisis? Instead of tackling the problem from the medical point of view, army leadership viewed it as a problem of discipline. Unauthorized suicides were viewed as squandering of imperial resources. The army started to differentiate between types of suicide. Unauthorized suicide were called suicides. Suicide in the nation harmed the enemy, kamikaze violence, and also the ordered by superhero officer to avoid capture was termed jiketsu. Kisatsu was illegal and shunned, while those who engaged in jiketsu were venerated and honored. In the latter stages of the war, this would be extended to the civilian population, but Shudan jiketsu, group suicide, would be ordered in places such as Okinawa, Saipan, and Manchuria. The Army did commission a number of studies to investigate the cause of Kisatsu after the 1938 Kyokai Daimyo. The authors of those reports conspicuously failed to even entertain the notion of PTSD or shell shock as a possible cause. Some of the reports focused on categorizing the types of suicide, good versus bad. Others laid the blame on the individual as an aberration. Whereas one report claimed that they were suffering from untreated syphilis and had taken their own lives to escape pain. One exception is reports by Toel Kano, a professor at the Kamagawa Medical College. He was conscripted in 1937 and sent to China. Professor Toel blamed the culture of hazing and physical abuse within the military, along with the repeated failure of military command to properly supply troops for operations and instead expect Japanese forces to overcome discouraged with their superior spirit. He urged the military to rescind this policy that enabled Japanese troops to requisition supplies from civilians. He wrote that the failure to properly supply troops to soldiers encouraged looting and led to criminal behavior and the breakdown of discipline in Japanese units. He believed that subsequently some soldiers, reflecting on what they had done, would come to the realization that they could not live with it and would take their own life. As evidence, he points to the fact that most of the suicides occurred in rear area areas, away from the front, where soldiers would have the opportunity to be alone with their thoughts. He claimed that in many cases, soldiers were heard to cry out an apology right before the act. Professor Puel submitted 6 reports before he being published in 1939. His reports were classified and appeared that they were to be ignored. He would serve as a doctor at a hospital in Japan for the remainder of the war. Japanese officers were surprised at the discouraged accepted while trying to encourage him to remain active. Unable or unwilling culturally to address the issue further, the only action that appears to have been taken is early 1941 to expand Japanese mission systems and experiment with arrival of soldiers. These developed on bronze that provided Japanese troops with comfort.
Okay, and it's war. This is going to happen. There's, it's very one-sided, and obviously, Japan was the one that got it.
Given the historical background, it is paranormal Machida episodes, this one easily has the most alleged encounters. Perhaps unsurprisingly, the tale of ghostly goings-ons extends to the information that Army Arsenal as well. Located roughly 1 kilometer south of Orin, the Tsunami Army Arsenal was known to its Tsunami General Depot. While not actually in Machida, it is located in Manufacturing. Established in 1938 by the Imperial Japanese Army as the Tsunami Weapons Factory, its location was primarily a production site for armored vehicles for artillery ammunition. In 1940, it was the Tsunami Army Arsenal. In the following book, the Army was brought up as a Brian Son, the U.S. Army of the まあ、戦車はですね、さすがに金属が必要なので、まあ、戦車の後に金属が入れてあったので、これで、まあ、金属がなかなかいう経験になってますが、まあ、砲弾装置は実際にしている。それもこういうふうに使えた主な、
Joey,
なんですが、
did you know that you're extra cute, kitty?
で、果たして全て完成できたのかどうかわかりませんけれども、まあ、所有権者は1560日、それでまとめたわけです。それが必要で、契約権者は820という課題です。それから、企業もですね、それに使えたようでして、連絡性、小さな小舟ですが、これが2557隻、それで作られたという記録があります。実は、軍事の価値そのものがありません。ここは、もともとはですね、工場として作られた場所だったので、ほとんど使えた人々は民間人ということになります。最初期1万人以上の人が働いておりましたが、まあ、そういう規模の、まあ、やはり数、100人分を
In response to the experiences of Japanese forces during the Nihon Offensive in 1939, during the difficulty Japanese forces had with contending with Soviet armor, Colonel Yuya drafted requirements for the described it as essentially the removable toolbox. Tsuchi came up with the unique coordinate. The design for producing two patterns of iceberg tank armed with a 105mm cannon for primary weapon. Two secondary turrets would house a 47mm gun and a 7.7mm machine gun. By February 1922, the whole of the fleet was complete. By May, the turrets were complete. However, the roof plate and other armor plates were delayed due to resource scarcity, and the project was delayed. By December of 1943, the tank was shown to senior members of the Imperial Japanese Army, including the commander of the Savannah Arsenal. For Japanese tanks. Field trials were scheduled for August 1st, and were available to proceed in June, included disassembled and shipped to the Savannah Army Arsenal for testing. After the assembly, testing commenced on August 1st. Records indicate the testing was conducted at the test site in Warren, which would correspond to the Labour Blue, but it was not explicitly stated. But the first hour of test was apparently went without incident. However, during the second hour, the tank encountered problems during the ground pass. The tank reportedly sank a meter into the ground. Attempts by the tank to free itself resulted in serious damage to its suspension. The tank happened to carry effects down Arsenal.
Fuck.
Were attempted on the concrete top of the arsenal, but it only exacerbated the damage to the suspension. The tests were then halted and are not believed to have ever resumed. Ultimately, the tank was scrapped. The documentation describes the war, and the only physical remnant of the tank is a single link of the tank track that is on display at the training school at JPSDF at Hidaka. The following clip from the same Rising Sun episode, historian Hiroaki Hamada tells us about the former hospital on Sagami Beach.
こちら今入院しておりまして、接種免許は3、2020インカ文書文書ができてきたのは1938年ですが、その3年、1941年にその病院ができております。 まあ、当時の金魚卵等を調べてみると、日本大学の結晶が作ってあるんです。で、なおかつ放射線科、それから、もちろん地域のデータですが中心に置かれていた病院のようで、需要障害の人と、それから、活病棟というのがあったりとか、1943年に、この造幣所内で基地が知らなっていたらしいんですが、その時にさらにその国立病棟にそういった患者が多かった。After the end of the war, the U.S. took over the base. Saddam's people played a crucial role in repairing and refurbishing the first American armored
Shall all meet death in the embrace of
The
Messmer's
hospital was
flame.
used to treat injured American servicemen. The hospital was at some point afterwards, the hospital and Saddam split. The hospital found that they were terrible advance. The tale started off on psychologists, aggregate
Thou shalt not invade the footsteps of Messmer.
afterwards reported seeing eyes glaring at them in the dark and seeing the ghostly, distressed face of the dead Marine in the mirror. The closing of the hospital did not end the
I'll be right back.
The now derelict building was supposed to be locked tight, but military police were repeatedly investigating the investigative reports of possible burglaries. People driving by the building were reported seeing lights inside the empty hospital. On multiple occasions, police arrived to find the front doors wide open and the lock had been used to secure the door mysteriously unlocked and on the floor. Windows that had been previously shut and secured were found to be wide open. Some MPs reported hearing strange noises following them inside the hospital while investigating. In 2013, the building was torn down. The activity seems to have ceased, at least for now. Thank you for watching. In the next Ghostly Japan video, we'll head out of Tokyo to one of the most famous, haunted, and infamous locations in Japan, Okinawa, the Sea of Trees, also known as the Suicide Forest. If you enjoyed this video and would like to see more, please consider hitting the like and subscribe. Have a wonderful evening, and see you in the next installment of Ghostly Japan.
Oh, my lower back feels so much better.
Good evening, I'm El2den, and welcome to another installment of Ghostly Japan. Once a humble fishing village, today it is home to some of Japan's top financial firms and largest newspapers. But amidst the modern skyscrapers is something from old Japan. Nestled in between the gloomy towers, the Zuka, behind the shrine, the severed head of a legendary figure in Japanese history.
Oh.
Life is known for having led an uprising against the emperor, and death is one of the three great evils of Japan. A terrifyingly powerful vengeful spirit.
He's my brother.
Tonight's episode is part one of this two-part series.
I don't know much about all. Yeah, he's my brother.
We'll discuss the real-life history of the man, his fall, and the very earliest paranormal tales associated with his legend. Tonight on Ghostly. This Fujizuka, a grave for tongue and shining severed heads, but one of the most famous in Japan. Item on its cover, whose head is a triangle, resembles the powerful and influential Taira, who died in 940 CE after revolting against the imperial court. For nearly 1,000 years since his death, legends about Masahiro and his father, many of which are heavily steeped in the supernatural, have been told over the centuries. His grave here in Oichi has been famous pretty much from the start for being haunted, especially for the supposed curse tied to this legend. Claims that the grave is allowed to fall into disrepair, or if any attempt to relocate or remove the grave is made, misfortune and calamity will befall those involved and the surrounding area. Masahiro was famous for being one of the favorite Old He died in the 1300s and is worshipped to this day at several shrines. In fact, if you ever visit Masahiro, you will almost certainly encounter everyday people who pray. Depending on the time of day, there might even be a line. The story of Taira no Masahiro, one and defined by that time contradictory depictions. Some people fishing Taira, to others who embody the best martial and moral attributes of Japanese warriors.
This is literally all leaders, tyrant, and embodiment of martial prowess. There's nothing wrong with tyranny. It's just a state of rule.
Powerful and vengeful spirit. The person knows their violate his grave. Yet again, the powerful guardian spirit of the city of Tokyo, whose blessing is sought by many everyday Japanese today.
As they should.
Centuries of death, thousands of years of history, oftentimes of a paranormal flavor, right here in our village. To understand how this all came to pass and how the paranormal stories have changed over the years, we'll start at the beginning. Masahiro's life and eventual rebellion in the mid-Heian period. Japan spanned from 794 CE to 1185. Ruled by the emperor from the imperial politician modern day. However, during this time lay the aristocratic nobility of the imperial court, teaching warriors during this time was ruled by the civilian government. Served the imperial court over the course of the Heian period, known as summer. each samurai ruled over China until the time of the Kamakura Shogunate in 1192 after became civil war. Taida no Masahiro was born sometime in the early 900s. We actually don't know for certain when he was born. 884, 889, and 903 have all been put forward by various sources as his year of birth. As the name suggests, Masahiro was a member of the Taida clan. Taida clan was the descendants of the imperial family, specifically from Masahiro. Part of the branch of the Taida clan referred to as Kanmujishi, indicating their descent from Emperor Kanmu specifically. The clan was formed because the imperial family was growing too large to make claims to the throne. So the Taida clan was formed, thereby removing the extended family members from the line of succession. Masahiro's grandfather was Taida no Hakamochi, the founder of the Taida clan. Hakamochi was appointed by the imperial court as Suke, vice governor of Kazusa province, his title being Kazusa Suke. The governor's station was called Kami, Kazusa Kami. Kazusa, along with the nearby Duchy and Ueno provinces, were special provinces designated to be ruled by members of the imperial family. As members of the imperial family, governors or kami of these provinces do not usually lead the enclave. In their absence, the day-to-day ruling and consequently local power was held by the Suke. Hakamochi would take his three sons, Taida no Furukawa, Taida no Yoshikane, and Masahito's father, Taida no Yoshimasa, with him to Kazusa province. There, Hakamochi's sons would take up influential local positions and marry the daughters of prominent local families. Both Taida and Yoshikane married daughters of Minamoto no Mamoru and Daijō of the second province. Those who ranked below imperial ranks were subdivided into different classes, indicating coverage. Mamoru was a large landowner and achieved his official position in the local second province. Yoshimasa would marry Masahito's mother, the daughter of Inugami no Harue, a wealthy resident of Shimosa province. And after Hakamochi's appointment as Kazusa Suke ended, his sons would remain behind instead of returning to the enclave. Ito would eventually take his father-in-law's place as Daijō. Yoshikane would follow in his father's footsteps as Kazusa Suke. Yoshimasa would become Horikami, commander of the military forces in the area. Masahiro was either 15 or 16 and sent to Heianto, Fujiwara no Karahira. Karahira was a powerful and influential figure in the imperial court, and this position under Karahira was one that was hoped to open doors for Masahiro. That hope survived joining the Eiichi, a paramilitary police group tasked with keeping the peace and Heian for an appointment as the military court. For years, Masahiro remained a lowly bard in the household. Masahiro then leaves the service of Karahira and heads back east. Back recently, his departure from the capital, he may become disillusioned with his failure to attain an appointment, or he may have left because of the death of his father. In any event, something happened shortly after his return from the capital that sours Masahiro's relationship with his uncle. The exact reason for this rift differs depending on which source you are following. One narrative says that the conflict began over a dispute over the inheritance of Yoshimasa's holdings, namely that Masahiro's uncles, Krinta and Yoshikane, attempted to take over all of their late brother's property, leaving Masahiro with little to nothing. Another theory is that the conflict originated from a dispute between Minamoto no Mamoru and Taida no Maki, another landowner in the duchy, that Mamoru was often at odds with. Masahiro was said to be close with Maki and attempted to intervene in Mamoru and Maki's dispute by interceding as a mediator. According to some sources, Masahiro's wife was Maki's daughter. The identity of
O horn-decked beast from higher sphere delivered, take root inside the tower's sculpted keepers, and perched within, we beg of thee, rise. Dance and kavod, cleanse all the low-wind. Cruelty, woe, and those who plague the tower. Cleanse away the strumpet's vile progeny.
Anime as fuck ending. I love that.
No. Another theory is that the conflict began over a fight between Masato and his uncle Yoshikane over a woman. Some narratives it is over the affection of one of Mamoru's daughters. In others, it is over Yoshikane's daughter, sometimes claimed to be Masato's wife. In this narrative, his daughter and Masato, perhaps because Masato had failed to attain any rank or position after returning from Hanzo, against her father's wishes, the nurse might have a vote. Yet another theory is that the conflict was boiling over of some long-standing resentment had against Yukimata and consequently Masato for not marrying one of his daughters like Yoshikane had. Whatever the real reason was, the conflict became violent in March 935 CE, when Masakado and his entourage were attacked at Nomoto, Hitachi province, by 3 of Mamoru's sons. Masakado managed to turn the tables on his attackers and killed all 3 sons. Afterwards, he marched on Mamoru's lands and burned down their stronghold. Masakado's uncle, Anika, was killed either at the conflict at Nomoto or when Masakado burned down his house. In November 1935, Seton enters, I don't know, his father was just a older individual who happens to have the same name as Masato's father, but spelled differently. This Yoshimasa is possibly the son of Kaidano Takamochi and his concubine. He's not believed to have accompanied his half-brothers initially when they came out with their father. Whenever he did come out, he said to have married one of Mamoru's daughters and would be another of Masakado's uncles. However, some sources claim he is actually Masakado's cousin. The exact relationship of this Yoshimasa to Masakado is not completely known. In any event, this Yoshimasa seeking to avenge the deaths of the sons of Mamoru rallied forces together to engage Masakado in Kitachi province. The battle was important for Yoshimasa and the battle. An alliance was then formed between Yoshimasa, Yoshikage, and Kaidano Sakamoto, the son of the slain Kunika. On July 22nd, 1916, a large army was formed with forces in Kazusa province and began marching on Masakado. Near the border of Kaji and Shikosuke provinces, they were engaged on Masakado's forces. They opened Masakado had two the combined army of Yoshimasa, Yoshikage, and Saramori had several thousand. Somehow, Masakado managed to keep this far larger army and move along on its front force. But Masakado was not satisfied with its victory. He pursued his enemy across Shikosuke province, forcing the survivors to seek refuge in the provincial capital. There, Masakado surrounded his estranged family members in the provincial seat of power. Despite having them dead to rights, Masakado perhaps having to change of heart, or maybe fearing the consequences of killing his uncles.
Some more provisions are little out. Some more his brethren. No doubt that these are not should you swap.
Masakado was served with an imperial summons to report to the capital to answer for his actions in the battle at Nomo. The result of the conflict caused by Mamoru over the death of his sons. Masakado was taken on court to give his own account of what had happened. Although the court decided against Masakado, granted amnesty as part of Emperor Subaru's empire coming of age. Almost immediately upon returning home a second time, Yoshikage began attacking Masakado. On August 30th, while holding up images of Masakado's father and grandfather, Yoshikage's forces launched an attack. According to some sources, the sight of the portraits demoralized Masakado's men and led to their defeat.
That was a fight. It
Masakado
hardens me.
had retreated. Yoshikage pillaged and burned
Long ago,
Masakado's domain
I was
and
stricken
captured
by
Masakado's
scarlet,
wife and children.
immobile, fever. I was left
Finding
behind,
credence
my
in a theory
wound,
that
and yet
Masakado's
he,
wife
despite
was
my now.
Yoshikage's daughter.
May we
Yoshikage
meet
brought
again on the
Masakado's wife and
battlefield.
children back to Kazusa province.
Do you wonder why the
Shortly
eternally
afterwards,
dour fellow
probably
keeps
with
his
help from
distance?
Yoshikage's son,
He's one of the tower's
Masakado's
pawns. I can
wife
only
and children
assume he
escaped and
fights
made
for his
back to
own
Masakado.
reasons. But we needn't
Revitalized by
concern.
their
He
safe
too
return,
was charmed, and that makes
Masakado
we're not gone. I
manages to
doubt our
fend off
metal.
another attack by Yoshikage
May we
in
meet again.
September. Yoshikage retreats to Mount Tsukuba, while Masakado appeals to the imperial court via his former lord, Fujiwara no Karahira, intervened. In December, the imperial court issues a Daijin Kanto, an official order to arrest Yoshikage and those who aided him in attacking Masakado. In March of 938 CE, Saramori attempts to escape to Kyoto to appeal to the imperial court that it is in fact Masakado who is the real man. Masakado catches wind of this and gives chase with 100 horsemen. At the Chima River in Shion Province, they pick up the Saramori into the air. Masakado's forces descend on Saramori and soundly defeat them. Some narratives they manage to kill all but Saramori, which barely manages to escape. Also, Saramori appeals to the imperial court, finding the Jews and summons Masakado to appear before the court and clarify the issue. Masakado's power and reputation in the eastern provinces have grown since such fled. Nor is it something that the consider Saramori loyalists, who are forced to evade capture. Yoshikage attempts one last strike at Masakado's forces, hoping that attacking Masakado's encampment that night and using information from informants will be enough to tip the battle in his favor. It is not. And Yoshikage's forces are repulsed and routed. Yoshikage dies humiliated in June of 939 from illness, a broken. Masakado's enemies are more. Ancient power
Oh, I
arriving
have to say, it's wonderful. I don't think I'll have to
defended
think.
without popular support.
Ah,
It
you two,
began
I'll make
attempting
some.
to
If you find
increasingly
sleep
mediate disputes concerning
is that
taxation
that
or
is can cover
other
you
issues
for all.
among government officials and various powerful parties in the area, despite no official government appointment to do so. At the end of 959, an allied established Haruaki province was at odds with the local government. Haruaki was accused of embezzlement and failure to pay his taxes. The government issued an arrest warrant. Haruaki fled to the safety of Masakado's domain, and along the way, he plundered Hitachi government warehouses, delivering the stolen goods to Masakado to the admiral's protection. The Hitachi government demanded Masakado turn over Haruaki's possessions. In response, Masakado took a 1,000-man strong force to Hitachi to persuade them to drop the charges against Haruaki. Instead, the Hitachi government levied a 3,000-man strong army and attacked Masakado's forces. Hitachi forces were crushed by Masakado's smaller force, fled back to the provincial capital of Hitachi province. Masakado's forces then laid siege and plundered the surrounding area. The governor of Hitachi, seeing the futility of resisting further, surrendered, and the Hitachi government fell to Masakado. Whether he had originally intended to or not, Masakado had crossed the line and committed rebellion. His close advisor, Prince Tokyo, is claimed to have told Masakado after the sacking of the Hitachi government, the penalty for overthrowing one province is the same as the penalty for overthrowing many. Perhaps heeding his advice, Masakado then took over Ueno province and Shimosuke province. In January of 940 CE, Masakado declared himself the emperor of the eastern provinces, citing his own descent from the imperial bloodline and referencing a supposed encounter with a shrine maiden, claiming she was a messenger of the god Hachiman, guardian deity of war, and Amaterasu as the guardian deity of the imperial family. According to legend, this shrine maiden bestowed the title of Shinto, new emperor, on Masakado. Governors of the remaining Kanto area provinces fled, leaving Masakado in control. Masakado, as new emperor, appointed his brothers and close friends as governors of the Kanto area provinces. Masakado also sent a letter to his former lord, Fujiwara no Karahira, communicated to the imperial court in Heian, that although he was now emperor of the eastern provinces, he still recognized Emperor Saku as the rightful emperor in the west. Masakado claimed he had no desire or intention to threaten the Heian government's foreign affairs. This news was not well received at Heian. Some of the government also suspected in the west. And there was fear that the rebellion might be incorporated at that time. The imperial court ordered that all tribes and temples in the country pray for the defeat of the rebellion. A bounty was placed on Masakado's head, and on March 5th, 940 CE, the imperial army was organized and dispatched to put down Masakado's rebellion, led by Fujiwara no Tadafumi. At the same time, Masakado was leading a 5,000-man force to Hitachi province in a hunt for the elusive Satomori and other surviving enemies. After failing to locate Satomori, Masakado was forced to demobilize the majority of his force, which was composed to a great extent of farmers and other workers who needed to get back to tend to their fields. In a monumental case of bad timing, just after this demobilization, word came in that Satomori had linked up with Fujiwara no Hidesato, an imperial royalist of the Shimosuke province. Together they had mustered a 3,000-man force. Masakado, after demobilization, had only 1,000 men at his disposal. Masakado had beaten Warsaw's before, and on March 12, 940 CE, set out to engage the enemy. Anti-construction within Hidesa's force, a column of Masakado's force under the command of Fujiwara no Karimichi. Fortunately for Masakado, Harumochi, overeager and overly aggressive, attacked Hidesa's force alone, without informing Masakado.
Oh yeah, that's right. I need to go
Hidesa's force overwhelmed Harumochi's forces
over there.
and defeated them. Masakado's troops were now reaching
Oh.
Hidesato and Satomori pressed the attack. While Masakado's forces fought bravely, they were slowly overwhelmed by the enemy's overwhelming force. Eventually, Masakado was forced to retreat back to his stronghold at Shunakaprado. He took the ceremony regrouped and took an reinforcements before pushing ahead on March 24th, attacking Masakado's stronghold, burning it to the ground. Masakado had mustered more again, and managed to field 400 men. On March 25th, 946 CE, the final battle began. It was faithful for Masakado, allowing them to rain deadly arrows down on the advancing forces of Saramori and Hirasato, inflicting heavy losses on their men. Saramori attempted to attack the breakthrough, but was repulsed. For a time, it looked as if Masakado would once more win a miraculous victory, as the lines of the Imperial Loyalists faltered and morale began to crash. Then, the late
When he
70s,
says the truth of it is evident,
Hirasato and Saramori
go in that
rallied
first
their forces for a
go in that
counterattack.
first.
Masakado is said to have rushed in front of the battle on horseback to meet the counterattack head-on. There are various stories on just how exactly Masakado died.
Go to the in
One
that first.
account, he is shot through the forehead
Go
with
to
an
the
arrow
in
as
that
he
first
raced to
second.
the front of his horse. In another, a whistling arrow struck him in the temple and killed him. And yet, in another, Misato, using the holy sword given to him by a shrine of Utsunomiya, struck down the new emperor himself. Any event, the death of Masakado marked the end of his rebellion. The nascent empire of the new emperor had lasted only a few short months. Masakado's co-conspirators would be hunted down and killed, and his close relations were not to be spared either. Masakado was beheaded and his head brought to the Hanzo. Masakado was the first recorded case of open wound use. Ancient punishment where the offender was to be beheaded with their head displayed for all to see, the property confiscated, and the body not allowed to be given to the funerary rites or buried. While Masakado had been defeated before the Imperial army had even the area, news had come of it.
Shit.
Urging those who had been neutral until this point to throw their lot in with the Loyalists at a critical juncture. Likewise, it may have hampered Masakado's efforts to gather more men before the final battle. However, this is not the end of Masakado's story. In fact, this is where the story takes a turn into the paranormal. Because as Masakado's head was left out on display for all to see, residents of Kanesville noticed something very peculiar about the head. The head did not lie. Its eyes and some accounts claim that it appeared to be gnashing its teeth. At night, the eyes of the head were staring down the ground and searching. As the severed head shouted, 切られた私の五体はどこにあるのか。ここに来い。首をつないで出世しよう。Where is my dismembered body? Bring it here. Reattach my head to my body and let's fight once more. Onlookers was terrified, but eventually a poet announced this head of hope in the spirit of Masakado. The head of Masakado let out a horrible and then began to shake as a brilliant light began to shine from the head. Before the head suddenly flew up into the sky, taking off to the easterly direction from. There are many legends about what happened next. One well-preserved legend from Jinja Prefecture claims that the priests at Namuzu Taisha believed that Masakado's head was headed back to the Kyoto, and convinced that if he made it back, the rebellion would start again. Each of them shrines constituted the Kami entering the prayer shot Masakado's head out of the sky with an arrow, and the spot that had landed on where the complete shrine was built. 12 is Masakado. The more well-known tale, and the one attached to Masakado, is the time she was in the village. In some accounts, Masakado's head was heading for Iwai, modern-day Banno City in Ibaraki Prefecture, which was his home and stronghold in life, and also where his body had been buried. But his head ran out of energy on the way and fell short, and ended up in sleepy Shibasaki village in Musashi province. In any event, the terrified villagers watched Masakado's head. At the time the short Toku Bay reached the 17th, afterwards, the villagers began to publicize worship out of flooded head. They only around at night, where in other accounts the headless apparition of the body around. Had your faith in made whole again. Over the next several hundred years, great John talked about ancient writing haunted earth. One of which is a haunted Greek myth, and top failures were expected other than that the problem. Even the fear of these words was the legend of the curse that was meant to the spirit. The big changes of better have a great how the rumors of great and the terrors related upon the residents of Shiva's village. His actions will forever change the legacy of Benjamin's title. The creation of an enduring legend founded lasting impact on Japanese folklore and popular culture, one that reverberates into the present. Thanks for listening. In the next episode, part 2, our series on Taira no Maskado and Maskado Zuka, we will explore the enshrinement of Taira no Maskado, the evolution of the paranormal legends associated with him, and the effect on Japanese media and common culture. We will also discuss modern paranormal claims associated with him. If you enjoyed this episode and would like to see more, please consider hitting the like button and subscribing. Thank you, and see you in the next installment of Ghost Japan Wars.